As we continue the series, the catchphrase is true or false. We're looking for things that we believe might be true, but often give us a lot of trouble if they're wrong. So, what's the next question? Is it a good thing to go straight back from the ball, or is it a bad thing? Well, if you have the idea that the club head stays square for the longest amount of time, then you're in jeopardy. So I'd say it's false. You don't take the club head consciously straight back through the ball. The shortest club in the bag is your putter, and that comes in nearest to straight back and straight through because the arc is almost perpendicular. If the arc of the putter was totally vertical, then the club face would be straight back and straight through. But I think you see that if you take an inclined plane, as described by the driver, that it wants to describe an arc to the what we call the inside. If I was a rugby kicker and I had the conversion kick in the middle of the pitch, occasionally you used to see the French kicker Lescabora, he would kick his ball like this and the boot would be operating down the line to the target. But most of us, when we're kicking a rugby ball, we step to one side and we come in and the boot comes from here, the ball departs right of target towards the right hand post and swings in. So the idea that the club head should stay in a straight line back from the ball is quite damaging, particularly once you get to your mid irons and your long irons. If you go straight back from the ball with your short irons, that's not so bad. You're playing a little bit of cut spin. We don't mind that. You can't really slice the wedge. So slightly out to in from 8 iron, 9 iron, pitching wedge, stand and lob wedge. Those clubs will tolerate a slightly out to in path and you get a shot that goes effectively pretty straight with a hint of fade. But really with the driver, the last place you want to go is straight back because you've got all sorts of attendant problems. Now, if we're not allowed to take the club head straight back, what are we allowed to do? Well, as ever, it's back to the understanding that the swing is a movement and not a position. Okay? So, if I have a driver and turn my shoulder to my throat, I'll do it in slow motion. Look where the club head tracks. You can see that it's tracked to the inside, flat swing. I can now hit the ball down the right hand side of the fairway, withdraw. If you then shorten the club to 6 iron, I walk in, the same shoulder turn takes the club head back more on a straighter line. Now go right down the handle to wedge, I walk in, the same shoulder turn takes me almost straight back, but not actually straight back. If I go absolutely straight back, I'm going to pull the shot, particularly with the short irons. So happily, it's a consistent movement of shoulder to the throat, but once again, the DNA of the swing is described by the structure of the club. I'm on Pebble Beach, the 18th tee. If I take the club head back outside by going straight back, I think you can see that I can hit a strong shot into the ocean, or I might be clever enough to save it with a fade. But then when you fade this tee shot, you've got such a long second and third shot, it makes the hole very hard. So I'm going to take this shot on, I'm aiming down the white line, and if I load my shoulder to my throat, the club head tracks on the correct path. I'm not thinking straight back, I'm thinking load the shoulder. So here we go. Coil. Got away with it. I caught it quite thin actually, came out of the bottom of the club, but the shot is essentially safe and in play. Now there's one addition I can make to you. People search for width in the swing. Well, again, true or false, is there width in the swing? The answer is true, we need width. But width is not something that comes from the desire to be wide. The fact of the matter is, you're describing a circle. You can't be wider than wide. If you go for width, you've got a swing like a 50p piece with flats in it. You can't have that. It's an arc described by a shoulder turn. So my wrist is a narrow hinge, my elbow is not quite as narrow, my shoulder, but the widest mechanism I possess is when the left shoulder goes to the throat. That's the widest swing I possess. So you're killing two birds with one stone, in the words of Mick Jagger. If the shoulder coil is good, not only are you making an arc to the inside, but you're also giving yourself the widest arc possible. So the concept of searching for width, don't worry about it. If the left shoulder controls the backswing, you can't be wider than wide. And if the left shoulder controls the backswing, the club head tracks on the correct line. The idea of going straight back with the club head is going to give you pulls and slices according to the lot on the club. So, true or false? Do we search the width? The answer is we don't. It comes from a good shoulder turn.